What's up, guys? I hope you all had a great day today. I really didn't get to work on the van too much. I was super busy today because the puppy got spayed, so I was taking care of her a lot. But I'm going to give you a part 2 of the haunted house story time. And also, there was supposed to be a video uploaded this morning of me working on the van, but I was just having really bad technical difficulties, unfortunately, so I couldn't get it up. But anyway, here I am with the haunted house story time. I know a lot of you guys liked the last one, so I'm going to go into detail for a second one. And the lights are flickering. Great. Okay, so the story I'm about to tell, it was a super dark time. My mom and I were actually talking about it earlier today. But basically what had happened, I don't know what caused it. Like I said, my whole life my house was haunted. But it was something that felt friendly, something that didn't feel negative. It was just kind of there. One of those things that was just like, oh, the ghost did this, like, I can't find this, the ghost must have hit it, like, stuff like that. I can't tell if the camera's shaking. But yeah, so it was something like that, never negative. Never negative, never anything negative. So, you guys, I'm not even kidding right now. The whole van is shaking for some reason. I don't know if there's an earthquake. I don't know if you can see behind me, but those little fairy lights are shaking. I don't know what's going on, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see this, but these are shaking. My camera shaking, the lights shaking, everything. And now I'm like sketch out that the neighbors are like shaking it. Or maybe it's the ghost. Okay, I'm just gonna get into the story. It's just a super dark time. I was struggling with some stuff, and not in a very good mindset. One night, out of nowhere, I was trying to go to sleep, and I just need to say I've always had an uneasy feeling in my room to begin with. So I was trying to go to sleep, and I couldn't because I have insomnia sometimes. So I couldn't fall asleep. At this point, it's probably around 2 a.m., 2 or 3 a.m. And finally, when I'm in that state about to fall asleep, I hear this noise sliding across hardwood floors in my room. Oh, and this was probably like probably like 2 years ago now. But there's a balloon in my room with one of those plastic weights on the bottom of it. And in the middle of the night, I hear shh. And I was like, I know exactly what that sound is right now, and I don't want to look. But I look and I see the balloon literally moving across my entire room. And it had been there for at least a week at this point, never done that. And it was just moving, like it wasn't the type thing where you like think you see out of the corner of your eye and you look and it's moving just a little bit. No, it wasn't like that. It was full on moving as if someone was holding the string and pulling it with them. And so immediately I was like, am I awake? Oh, sorry, before that, I forgot to mention. My dog, Sammy, the golden retriever, we call her Big Lady, but the golden retriever, she sleeps in my room, and she's the most quiet dog ever. She doesn't bark, has never even growled in her life. Like, she is the sweetest dog. She lays there and sleeps. That's the only thing she does. She doesn't even like to walk. She just sleeps and eats. And so, what fully woke me up was when she started growling. And when she growls, I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. She doesn't do this. So she was doing a low growl, looking at something, and then I didn't want to look, and then that's when I hear the balloon being pulled across the room. And I got up, and this is like 2 years ago, but I went into my parents' room like, oh my gosh, the balloon moved. The balloon's moving across my room right now. And so that's the first thing that happened. Then the next day, I'm laying in my room again. This time it's just around like 3 p.m. I'm chilling in bed, like watching YouTube videos, and I had to plug in my phone. And so if you watch my last video, you know that my bed is about this far away from the wall. And so my charger's plugged in on the ground next to the bed on the wall. So I grab my charger and plug it in, and then Sammy once again comes running around the house. In my room, like one wall is a glass slider into the backyard. So she comes running around the house, starts frantically banging on my door with her paws, which she doesn't do. She's not aggressive like that. So she starts doing that, panting frantically, so I let her in, and I'm like, oh no, I have a bad feeling. And so once she comes in, I lay down, she hops up on my bed, and lays down directly on me. And once again, she doesn't do this. She's not the type of dog who will lay on top of you. Like, she likes to be pet, but she likes her space also. So it's not something she does. So when she got up on top of me, I just had like this super weird feeling in my gut, like just a bad feeling overall. And she looks at the corner of the room and just starts staring like this. And so I have my phone in my hand, and I look over here with her, and then at that moment, I kid you not, this is exactly what happened. I look to the side, and all of a sudden, I feel something yank my phone cord. My phone flings out of my hand. Imagine if your phone's plugged in and there's like a little bit of, like, the cord doesn't touch the ground all the way, so it's kind of like a tight rope type thing. And imagine if someone were to walk into that cable without seeing it, and your phone would obviously go flying. So that's what happened, and I instantly freaked out. I got up out of bed so fast, ran out to the kitchen, and I was home alone at this time. So I ran out to the kitchen, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bake macarons because I don't want to be in there. I'm gonna wait till my parents get home. I'm not gonna go back in that room, so I need to distract myself and go in the kitchen and make macarons. So I'm in the kitchen, my parents get home. They set the table for dinner. For some reason, there was a glass bottle of the real maple syrup sitting on the granite countertop. And I was telling my parents, my iPhone got yanked out of my hand, and my dad's the type of person who's like, no, like, that didn't happen, like, there's no ghost here, and just, ghosts don't exist, just getting mad for some reason. And I was like, I just need someone to believe me. I feel like I'm going crazy, I'm scared. And I'm not even kidding, at that moment, I was looking down at my phone, sitting at the table, and out of the corner of my eye, I see something go, like, I see something move just a little bit and hear that picture glass on granite. That's the noise I heard for a split second. And so I'm looking at my phone like this, and I just move my eyes up like that. I'm looking directly at this maple syrup bottle. After looking at it for like 2 seconds, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I see the bottle of maple syrup go from here and go shh and stop right here. And instantly I jumped over, I was like, oh my god, what the heck? And my dad goes, calm down, there's no earthquake. I was like, looking back, I'm like, why did he say that? But in the moment, I was like, the maple syrup moved. And my mom was like, okay, I kind of saw that out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, the maple syrup moved. My dad was like, everyone calm down. And so I physically saw an object get moved in front of my face. And my mom saw it too. After that, it got dark. Like, honestly, the situation got bad. And so I was so scared to go to sleep. I'm having, like, anxiety, a panic attack, being like, is this real? Like, am I real? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand this. And so that night, I went to go to sleep. At this point, I'm beyond scared. I do not want to go to sleep. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to be in that room alone. So I don't even care. I freaking told my mom, you need to sleep in here with me. After seeing that, I'm not sleeping alone. And so that night, I could not sleep. I tried to go to sleep. At this point, it's around 4 a.m. I'm laying in bed, just with the worst, heaviest, negative energy, like, consuming my body. And Sammy once again starts growling. And at that point, I hear this noise. I hear this noise out. I can still hear to this day. It just sounded, like, if you heard this, you'd be like, okay, that does not sound right. Like, that scares me. It was almost like a growl and a heavy sigh all at once. Like I don't know how to do it. But it was the most terrifying sound I've ever heard. Following the sound, I physically feel someone put their hands on my ankles and pull. And even just thinking about this, it's like, that was the worst night of my life. So I feel that happen. And I just turned all the lights on. I'm like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do. And the next day I had to go to school. My friend was over at my house looking for me or something, and I wasn't home. And he needed to do some homework and didn't want to drive home. So I'm like, oh yeah, you can definitely just chill in my house, do your homework there. And I kind of had been telling him what had been going on. And he's like, oh, like, yeah, right, okay, sure. And I'm like, okay, just go to my house at your own risk and let me know what happens. 30 minutes into him being here, and this is the type of person, he's not going to make something up. He's 100% not going to admit to this because he's the biggest skeptic out of them all. So for him to say something like this, it's kind of him, like, being defeated. Like, oh my gosh, like, this just went against everything I believe in. So he texted me 30 minutes in, and he was like, holy crap, I just booked it out of your house. I was sitting there and heard tapping noises and kind of got up and looked around a little bit, and out of nowhere, the bathtub faucet just... Did anyone hear that? Okay, so anyway, he got up and he's like, the bathtub faucet got turned on full blast. I went in there, no one's home, nothing, so I booked it out of there, and I was like, I told you. But that just made it worse for me, because I was like, why is this happening to other people now too in my house? And so after that happened, I think there was one more night I just slept in my house and just dealt with it. Nothing really happened all day or all night until, sure enough, around 3 a.m., I feel my covers slowly being pulled off me. Like, so slow to the point where you'd be like, okay, maybe I'm just like half asleep and imagining it, but it got to the point of it being pulled off of me that my stomach was starting to be exposed, and that's when I jumped up and freaked out and realized that someone was pulling it off of me. So the next day, my friend was like, you need to go get sage, you need to sage your house. So I went over there, bought some sage, went in my room, and I was like crying. I'm like, you need to leave, you're not welcome here anymore, you need to go. And it was super weird. At that moment, it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I don't even know how to describe it. But still, it didn't feel 100%. It didn't feel 100% right, but way, way better, and nothing of that, like, demonic stuff was happening anymore. So that's one of the stories of a super dark time in my house. Let me know if you want another video like this. I have so many more stories. That was only scratching the surface, honestly. So just leave it in the comments if you want another video, and make sure you like and subscribe, please, to let me know that you're enjoying what I'm doing and that I should keep pursuing YouTube. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support on TikTok and on YouTube. If you haven't checked out my TikTok, I'm going to leave all my socials in the link down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.